Thank you all on the panel for your testimony. Professor Yelowitz, President Biden and others have argued that corporate greed causes inflation. Biden quotes 17 economists to also argue that Build Back Better, a couple $1 trillion worth of deficit spending, will reduce inflation. Speaker Pelosi recently blames inflation on low unemployment. I was wondering if you could give us a little review, a little economics 101 on what actually causes inflation.
Well, I'm not a macroeconomist, so I'll say that off the bat. But basically, when supply and demand are out of whack, then prices will adjust. And in the labor market, for example, we see a worker shortage, wages are rising, businesses are competing for workers, yet not being able to get them, even without, for example, higher minimum wages. And so, in a sense, prices adjust. They're a market signal that basically says something about scarcity. And that's likely what's going on now. We just have all sort of interruptions in the economy. And that probably is what's causing the higher prices that we're seeing.
Do you think deficit spending, increasing deficit spending, makes inflation less or more?
It certainly would increase it.
Mr. Tipton, we've been talking some about business loans, government involvement, but there are many other factors of life and what government either does to you, for you, or against you that affects how your business, how well your business succeeds. In 2017, we passed a tax reduction, letting business owners keep more of what they earned. Did you see any effect in your business? Did the tax rates allow you to expand any in your business?
Yes. Obviously, when there's more going in the pocket of the business owner, they have more capital to grow and spend. In my company, we enjoyed that benefit then.
I have no further questions. I thought someone just came in, but no. We'll wait for one moment. The chairman will be back, and we'll have some more questions in just a moment. While we're waiting, I do have another question for Mr. Tipton. Your experience as a franchisee and dealing with the franchise, with the parent company, do you see it in your experience as being adversarial, or do you see that your interests are aligned between the franchisee and the franchisor, or do you see it as a relationship that works, or a relationship that needs the government to be involved in a bigger way?
Well, certainly don't need the government involved. My process with my franchisor was very transparent, and the relationship is very good. It was good then, and it's good now, and always has been. I've been through the process with more than one national brand, and it was the same. It was very good, very transparent. As a matter of fact, both were so transparent that there was a lot of information. A lot to take in. Nothing was left out.
So I guess you get the benefits of the name of the restaurant chain that drives customers in. You get benefits of cheaper cost of goods. I guess you get food and supplies for the restaurants come through a purchasing agreement with the parent company. Is there also availability of credit through the company as well, as far as borrowing?
I am not sure. I have never used the company for financing. That's always been done in private banking industry. And if, in my opinion, if you're doing the right stuff, that's not going to be a problem.
So you didn't utilize small business loans in starting yours. You utilized just the private banks and banking system?
No, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why you would. If you're doing the right thing, the private banking industry is gonna be there.
Well, the difference also is that there's a feedback loop. If you borrow from government and government puts out 1,000 bad loans, who's going to replace the people in government and say they're not doing a good job? If you live in Richmond, Kentucky, and your bank does 1,000 bad loans, my guess is that way before you get to 1,000, somebody loses their job or the bank goes out of business, or you have to have some sort of feedback loop. And this is essentially the difference between government and private sector. And one reason why many of us will argue that the private sector, unless it absolutely is not working, that we should really try to do almost everything within the private sector, because you have that feedback loop that breeds excellence, and that's basically the profit motive.
I would also say that if you can't get financing through the private sector and you need to go to SBA, then you're not doing something right anyway. So.
Thank you. Senator Ernst?